Argument Alice, Framework Freddy, Comparison Connie, Structure Sam, Delivery Danny, Rebuttal Rosie are the Dialogy Debate Super Team. They are here to help develop your superpowers.
Hello everyone, Argument Alice here, and today we will discuss the public and private sector. The public sector refers to the government. For example, the leaders of a country often control governments, and all employees working for that government are considered public servants. On the other hand, the private sector refers to institutions that citizens and everyday individuals control. These would look like companies, as well as non-government organizations and even small businesses. For today, we will talk about the roles these two sectors play in society and the differences they have from each other. But first, why is it important to know about the private and public sectors for debates? Well, many debate topics will ask us to talk about the differences between governments and corporations. Sometimes, we even talk about which sector is best to solve specific problems. For example, take the topic, Resolved, Space Exploration Should Be Privatized. Sure, you can argue that there are many benefits to having the private sector control space exploration. However, your arguments can become more substantial if you compare them to the alternative, complete government control. As you might already know, comparisons are very important in a debate. So let's go over a few areas of similarities and differences between the public and private sectors. First, let's look at what the goals of each sector are. When it comes down to it, the purpose of any industry or sector is the same: to make sure their project succeeds. However, why they want to do that sometimes varies. For the public sector, all projects, like setting up roads, hospitals, and research facilities, ensure that they are fulfilling their obligation to the people who voted them into power. This concept is also known as accountability to the people. On the other hand, the private sector can have any reasons to ensure a project succeeds. It may sometimes be for profit if the private sector consists of corporations. Other times, it may be because they have an advocacy or personal mission, especially if they are a non-government organization. Knowing the goals is important because it allows you to know just how much dedication might be put into a project. This lets us know how likely it is to succeed. Besides knowing the goal, another factor that determines success is the capabilities of either sector. When we say capabilities, this can range from knowledge to money to social connections and other resources. The public sector and private sector both have access to resources. The public sector has money just like the private sector, and the private sector has access to knowledge just like the public sector does. Where things differ is in terms of how much of each they have. In most debates might say that the private sector is likely to have more time and money on its hands compared to the government. Meanwhile, the public sector might have more information as well as more power compared to corporations. Knowing all of this is essential because you will know what to focus on when the time comes for you to defend one side over the other. But to do that effectively, we need to prove why our side can achieve the best outcome for everyone. How do we do these in a debate, you ask? Well, you can have a significant advantage if you make sure you prove that the goals of each sector are aligned with the interest of the project being debated. It would be best if you also showed that they have the capabilities to achieve these goals. For the topic, Resolved, we should ban private hospitals, for instance. You could say, on the pro side, that hospitals are not being run smoothly by the private sector because they are motivated mainly through money and tend to be corrupt. You could also argue that governments have more information than the private sector that would benefit hospital patients. On the other hand, the con side can spin this by saying that the profit-centered nature of the private sector is the main reason their hospitals function as some of the best hospitals in a country and manage to pay their workers very well. They can also argue that they have better hospital management because they do not have to juggle their responsibilities, unlike the state. As you can see, knowing areas of similarities and differences play a big role in creating arguments. Now that we have gone through these different comparisons, we can apply these lessons to other debate topics that pit the private and public sectors against each other. Remember, when comparing sides, there will always be parts that overlap and parts that are not all black and white. So, make sure to listen to what your opponent has to say and find a way to achieve their goal and capabilities as well. Good luck!